Ben, let's start off with these two rival amendments or I'm not sure if Sir Jen Hayes has actually laid his amendment, but he's laying the groundwork for it, claiming 19 backers compared to Simon Clarke's almost 40. Where does number 10 stand on the issue of whether wind farms should be unbanned?
Well, at the moment, Rishi Sunak is trying to weigh up which is the least evil. Is he going to lose more support by saying, yes, OK, let's relax the de facto ban on onshore wind turbines, or is he going to lose more support by sticking with it? Now, this has all sort of been thrown into sharp light, really, because of the energy price crisis following Russia's invasion of Ukraine. Onshore wind is by far and away the cheapest form of electricity, renewables, because when the wind blows, they are cheap, but the problem is, of the last few days, we haven't had a lot of wind. So the amount of energy that we've generated from these wind farms has been less than we would expect. Now, the ban was brought in by David Cameron in 2015, soon after the Lib Dem coalition fizzled out with that general election victory. And there's been an uneasy Tory truce around it ever since. But now you do have these two rival camps that the Prime Minister is seeking to balance, and he's going to have to make a decision. Meetings are going on at the moment and over the next few days, but eventually he's going to have to come down on one side or the other.
Interesting, perhaps, that the pro-onshore wind, crucially with community consent in the amendment that was tabled by Simon Clarke, that amendment has the support of Boris Johnson and of Liz Truss and of a number of big beasts. It looked like it has more support on the face of it than the anti-wind farm group. Has the Tory party shifted in this area?
Yeah, I think it has, actually. If you go back a few years, and obviously that's a few parliaments ago, considering the number of general elections we've had in recent years, back in the day, then Conservative MPs were largely against onshore wind. But because of what's happened in the Ukraine, and because you've got younger, more modern politicians, if you like, within the Conservative Party, they do seem to be leaning towards bringing wind onshore. I mean, there's no dispute over whether or not we should have offshore development. You can have giant turbines out to sea. Britain's one of the world leaders in
Saudi
offshore
Arabia
wind.
of offshore wind, as Boris Johnson liked to say.
That's right, that's right. Now, Rishi Sunak might have a way out, because if he says it's with local consent, well, if you look at the polls, people are generally in favour of onshore wind, but when you drill down, are they in favour of it in their backyard? So if you say you'll have it with local consent, well, that's allowing it in principle, but you may be able to say, well, it's in your hands, and if people don't want a wind farm looming over their house, then they may be able to snub them in the long term.